How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG, which was up 4.33% on the Friday. It is continuing to gain momentum. We've talked about this many times before. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. The reason why this is important, because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $2.17, being up 4.33%. On the low, it tested $2.06, and then on the high, testing $2.23. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 11.905 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 11.23 million shares. So we had above average volume on the day, and that's why we had some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see the RSI down below is at 45.03. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So it's clear to see that BBIG is in a bear market, trading below all of our major moving averages. But look, we are on a solid uptrend, continuing the pattern of higher lows and as well as higher highs. So where we saw resistance on the Friday was at 223, and we have the 21-day EMA at 225. So if we get some price action above 225, I want to see us gain some momentum and see if we can get a test of the 50-day moving average at $2.49. This would not be a lot to ask, and we do know we have a gap that needs to be filled to the upside right here around 277. I'm not saying that this is going to be happening for the coming week, but these are levels you want to keep a very close eye on, because if it could use that 21-day EMA as support at 225, then as far as 249 is concerned, that is not far-fetched whatsoever. If we decide to have a pullback or we want to consolidate, then of course I want us to stay above $2.06. Form another high or low. Give the bulls some more confidence to buy this play up. But one thing that is very clear here, and what we have seen in the chart many times inside of the past, BBIG is bouncing up to the upside, and there could be some more further room as we've seen before as well, and it seems like the pattern is just going to repeat itself. But overall, it is looking good going into the coming week. Now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for BBIG. So the off exchange short volume ratio is at 45.80%, and then for the off exchange short volume, it is just over 2.16 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 100,000, updated 15 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 245.41%. And then when we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 16th, it is at 41.92. And then for the close of the 17th, being at 45.80. So it has gone up a bit. And then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 18.87%, BBIG does continue to have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we see on the inflow, it is at 8.75 million, and then on the outflow, it's at 3.73 million. So we had a strong inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large, it was 4.46 million. On the medium, it was 2.81 million, and then on the small, it was 1.48 million. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 2.38 million, and then on the small, it was at 1.35 million. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for June the 17th, we had that big inflow of 4.46 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders, it tends to represent the retail side. You can see we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then for the large, represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 5.11%. Knowing that BBIG is a volatile stock, this is not too bad whatsoever. And what we could see from the order flow, big money is loading up. We'll talk about it further in the final thoughts, so let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for BBIG when it comes to the price action, so we ended up seeing a high of the day at $2.23, and the low of the day was at $2.06. We have the 21-day EMA, which is at $2.25. So we didn't get any price action above it, but we did get to 223, which is only off by 2 cents. So what does it mean? Keep an eye on the play, because when we take a look at the technicals, we have been forming higher lows for the past 4 trading days, and we see a continuation of higher highs. So this is very bullish. So what I want to see for this coming week is BBIG being able to reclaim that 21-day EMA. We want that price action above $2.25. If it could hold this level, then I want to see a further move to the upside around $2.49, which we will encounter some resistance. There could be some selling pressure, but this is where we want to see the bull step in and see if we can push it up further. This is also right where we have the 50-day moving average. I know many people ask me, Dre, how do you come up with these predictions and so forth? Again, it's all in the charts. Make sure you guys check out the technicals when I put these videos together. But aside from that, we also have to take into consideration the Russell. So there's a lot of institutions and funds that follow it. So we see a lot of big money has been loading up on plays that are going to be in there. And some of these plays include Lucid. We've noticed this with BBIG, which I'm talking about. We also did notice this with Mullen. Again, the pattern is not strange whatsoever. So that's why I want to say that you guys have to use extreme caution. If you're trading inside of this play, make sure that you're protecting your profits. No one is telling you to sell right now. Of course, you want to follow alongside with the trend, but you want to make sure you move up your stop loss. So just in case it decides to have a major pullback, you're not going to be that person saying, well, you know what, man, I should have sold. No, you'll be smiling and saying, well, you know what, Dre did say to protect your profits. And the reason why having this strategy is key, because we are in a bear market. Pullback can happen very quickly, and you know the market will humble you quickly as well. As far as for the downside, unless it decides to break through this pattern, and what do I mean by that? If it breaks through $2, then I can say, you know what, there's some clear weakness here, but then we want to see it bounce off of that $1.95 or $1.93 area, because if it does do this, we'll have a continuation. But if it doesn't, then we have a confirmed sell-off. But from what I'm seeing, as long as we can have some price action getting to that 21-day EMA, it can get very interesting for this play. But of course, I'll keep you guys inside of the loop. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information, BBIG does continue to have short squeeze potential. Plus, we have the short ball free rate that is well above 240%. Every single time this happens, BBIG starts running up a lot. But again, I am not giving you guys financial advice. I already said, if you wanted to load up on some shares, you would have done it at $2. You would have even done it below that level, because it's been a continuous area where the stock has bounced. It showed this many times in the past. The chart was clearly telling us, you know what, BBIG is about to turn up, and that's exactly what it's doing. So if you're just thinking about getting into this play, make sure that you're using the right risk management, because you are getting in fairly late. And for all of my investors out there, congratulations if you were able to load up on the dip, because that means that you have high conviction. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how the stock performs on Tuesday. We'll talk soon.